I split my head open, or at least I thought I did yesterday when it first happened. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted the story. I'll put those links. I know I look like trash. I'm even afraid to shower right now because look at this spot on my head. I don't know if you guys can see that. It still looks kind of bloody. I've got 7 staples in my head right now. The point is, I still wanted to cast this match from UCS LCQ, but please just bear with me during this commentary. Occasionally, I might just be a little slow. I'm just trying to ease on into this. Take it easier than normal, maybe. Let's do it. It's my channel, I know, but this isn't all about me. This is about the players and Pokemon Unite and you guys to try to get you the most entertainment around Pokemon Unite as I can. So we have Team TOS up there on the top with the team known as Full Send here on the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. And it's kind of interesting just to have this fun background fact. Snowpoints actually put out a tweet, I remember, on the day of this tourney, which at the time of this recording, I'm recording this on April 10th. Didn't get to see the match live because I was too busy cutting my head open, getting it stapled up. But anyway, Snowpoints was caught in traffic and he was saying that he might actually be playing via mobile from the traffic, you know, like if he doesn't get home in time. I think he made it home okay, so just kind of a fun fact there for you, ladies and gentlemen. We're here now early on. You can kind of see the lay of the land, right? We have that 1-1-3, which is typical, of course. Early pressure right here. When you're looking on this bottom path, you know, Jigglypuff, that's Bloodline really going for it right there. Will absolutely secure that for Full Send. This is very early on. I like to often say it's not really the end of the world if you get KO'd this early, but nobody likes to be KO'd, right? And you're often missing out on things like this. For instance, you want to contest for those Audino. It may be just experience like that, but the thing is that you do resurrect pretty quickly, so if there was kind of any time to be KO'd right there, I guess maybe this is it. But like we say, nobody likes to be KO'd. You're going to see our support players right now, Snowpoints and Feppy, they're going at it, just kind of trading blows here on the bottom path, and I just definitely want to reiterate, you know, I think I'm going to be okay from the head injury, by the way, but it just means I'm probably not going to be like screaming. You know, sometimes these matches and these commentaries, I can get extremely intense and extremely fast-paced and all that, so it might just be slower and lower pace. But anyway, we have the Combi and Vespiquen combo here. Always looking for that at 850, and of course the next thing will be 720, but in between there's going to be a lot of fighting. It looks like Bloodline will go down, ladies and gentlemen, so that's now sort of like you could consider a trade-off, right? Because earlier on, Team TOS, they had lost somebody. Now we're seeing Full Send going to lose them. We saw relatively larger point values for when you're this early on, at least in this first 2 minutes of Unite. To dunk in both 23 for Full Send and then, wasn't it 14 for Team TOS right here? If you're kind of above that typical 1 to 10 point values, those smaller point values, those are typical, you know, in that first 2-3 minutes of Pokemon Unite, of course. And so it's the battle for the wild Pokemon here as Sanji in the middle. Gonna get some of that experience on his side, but of course, right as that's happening, we've got Raboot for Full Send, and they're gonna be trying to do the same. You look at Otter and Bloodline, you know, both kind of giving those warning shots, but certainly Team TOS kind of pushing this bottom path here and getting a little bit of positioning over Full Send. I want to thank a viewer, longtime friend and viewer now, I would say, for getting us these recordings while I was busy busting my head. So credit in the description where credit is due. Gonna take down this Corphish real fast. Obviously, like we mentioned earlier, we are gonna look for that 720. That's when the next Combi and Vespiquen combo will be served up to you on a platter. And just before that, you want to do exactly as these teams did. They got whatever wild farm they could elsewhere, you know, Corphish, etc., depending on your path that you've taken. But then you also just get set up like this, and sometimes it leads to this right here. Before that 720 mark, you're gonna see both of these teams engaging, and wow, it looks like Bloodline coming dangerously close once again. You're that tanky support Wiggly, you know, you can kind of get in between your team and the other team and then try to just really create some havoc while the rest of your teammates do hit from afar. And notice those bees went down very quickly, as they often do when we now have 4 versus 4 essentially on this bottom path. We should actually amend that. That's 5 versus 4 because even Sanji was down here already. Certainly prepared for this too. I mean, they really threw down, and so we've got about 2 seconds, it looks like, till that Dreadnought, so this will be the next objective. Obviously, we're going to see a team fight down here. Everyone is ready. Everyone's positioned. Notice Celestials, that Cinderace just didn't quite have the distance. That's what you want, obviously, a Cinderace, and got caught. So Sanji, really good job to see that and take advantage of that opportunity. You know, it's like, you can't rest. You can't even slip up just a little bit. Feppy's trying to run back here, and that actually is going to result in Full Send losing their Lucario because, you know, you saw the chase. It's like, that was kind of good bait because certainly we think, hey, it's Eldegoss. We can take it down. It's like only got a little bit of health, and it's going to be on the squishier side in general. Left side team, that's Team TOS. They are going to go ahead and secure that Dread. So this is looking good for them. Even if they are down by score, you're going to see what's going to happen on this bottom path. They hope to obviously get something in right now, but very good job from Full Send to actually be able to push this back. So that will actually be a negatory. They will not, at least so far, they will not push in any of this Aeos energy. So we are going to see a Verdant Anger go down, and Otter actually in a lot of trouble. But okay, so there will actually be a secured KO on Otter, and Scolded is going nuts right now. This is one of those situations where I want to scream. I'm taking it easy, folks, but Scolded coming out the gate with that Venusaur. Wonderful, wonderful job. I mean, the Giga Drain, it was just kind of everything. You've got the pedals, you've got the Giga, and certainly backed up by the rest of Team TOS that was there. I mean, Sanji's just making work of everybody right now. So they're doing good. It's like I say, you know, you don't want to look too much at the score. You're kind of looking to the future, unless the score was drastically different, you know, if one of these teams was really in the lead. And that's when you've got this high level of play, and especially if the teams are even, that's not quite common, of course, for this stage, because look at how close this is. I mean, with that 14 and that 7 right now dumped in from full send, and then 15 right here. So just like that, we are now within 1 point. That striking distance is easy here. Rotom now being the big objective. That's the prize. We can see it happening, going down on this top path, and now then Team TOS just quickly, as I'm talking, they're going to not only get those KOs, they're going to secure that Rotom. This was wonderful. Just kind of make that ambush. They are playing so well as a team right now. Earlier when we were talking about when they were actually down by score and it was just, you know, still close, we weren't even, probably at like the 6-minute mark at that point, but you were looking at the levels. You're looking at how they play and just how the game is stacked up. And then they got that Dreadnought. I mean, it's looking good for Team TOS. It's just, especially, I think we've all learned by this point, this is the Aeos Cup LCQ, last chance qualifiers, you guys. You know that the competition, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be, the intensity is going to be dialed up. Point being, this is anybody's game still. Team TOS, though, with that 151. Going to take down some more of this wild farm as we await that next dread. Obviously, just has mere seconds left, and we're looking at an even number here, 4-on-4. You are seeing actually somebody from top lane for both of these teams, and that boy Muck will actually go rings unbound and throw down that portal just in case their Blissey does want to come here and help out, which they will. Aquilo is down here, and then we're going to see another rings unbound. Snowpoint's going to bring in Lucario, obviously, for full send, and Dread is going down, but so are a lot of other players. There is so much risk here for either team. I mean, you see everybody's HP just knocked down. Snowpoints will go ahead and secure that. Wonderful job. Snowpoints TV for full send. They're going to want something like this because you're going to see what that did to the levels. Look at all that. We noticed that the levels now at least closer in that gap, the level gap. But, I mean, you look at Scolded. He's just stacked right now as that Venusaur. That's for Team TOS, Purple Squad. Good on both of these teams. I mean, whichever team wins, whichever team loses, you know that this is really hard fought. And we should actually mention this is round 4, game 2. You might have noticed the trick Shadow Ball's flying, and then Celestial actually going to use the Blazing Bicycle kick here, trying to make this assault on the bottom goal. That's full send, and they are actually doing a full send of their teammates right here on this bottom goal. That will be probably going to break it looks like, because yeah, we've got 34. There it goes. So that's after, you know, a series of 13, several different point values to finally break that smaller overcap. It's all good. Obviously, we have Rotom coming down right here, and Scolded with Feppy. They are ready for it. You know, they were just right here, ready to get hits in just as it was soaring on down. Bloodline, you can notice, I was wondering if they were actually going to try to steal some wilds, but obviously we can see on the mini-map and just here in front of us, there are none on that bottom path on the sides, and so we'll go ahead and score in that 24. We are going to see Rotom go for Team TOS. Hopefully it's going to touch down for them, because this is a close battle. Any of these teams is looking for that kind of advantage. Notice that Bloodline is going to be punished for that sneaking around, getting in some of those back cap points, and so Team TOS on top of it. They are looking to do this right, I think. You know, you've got a lot of full pockets on those teams, and you're very close to that final stretch. When you've only got about 40 seconds, that sometimes can be worth the wait. You know, you got to think, do I score in now if I have the opportunity, or do I actually wait for that final stretch? Sometimes you're on the goal just before the final stretch has been called, and then when it hits final stretch, you get those points in, like right there, like if you time it correctly. Bolby, the Lucario for full send, just trying to E-speed out of this, and Bone Rush, we're trying to get out of this danger. This is very, very dangerous, and they will actually go down eventually. Nice kind of keeping Team TOS on their toes right here, and then in like a wild goose chase, you could say. But you notice what's going on that bottom path. You know, Cinderace, that's Celestial down there, does seem to be going after that Dread. We've got Otter being essentially the lone defender against this goal. If that's Team TOS's idea to try to break this goal, again, probably going to happen with that final stretch. The last Dread is going to go to full send. There's that final stretch, so we don't know. It looks like it's going to be a Hoopa play, ladies and gentlemen. This is all happening before my eyes. Like I said, I've never seen this match, and so we're actually noticing, of course. We got Hoopa right there, going to probably throw down the rings unbound. Sanji, everybody's just kind of hanging out right here before that goal, and I think maybe full send is, they're kind of aware a little bit of something like this happening. So now we can actually see there on the mini-map, there goes the portal, and then there goes the goal, ladies and gentlemen. So that will be an 80 and then 100. Wonderfully played. Good display right here from Team TOS. I really want to scream, you guys. Holy, this is going to go to right side team. That's full send. They get the Zapdos. This is going to be so much closer than you would have thought, actually, because of that. You know, TOS really pulling out all the stops with that play. That was so amazing. And then we're going to see 100. There's Hundo's going down 88. This is now much closer. Now a Hundo going to go in from so points from full send. You have got to be a little bit worried if you're TOS, but it's not as bad bad as it could have been. Unless these goals are going to go in, you notice Snow Point's just getting back there. Even this is a time where, since all of your point values are doubled, you can just score in 7, score in 10, and it's going to be a lot more menacing than it seems. I mean, this is going to have both teams just kind of on the run, trying as much as they can. You see Bulby back there on the minimap, really giving trouble to Team TOS in the back here, but Aquilo really wants to score that in, especially if you're looking at something around 20, 25 points. Bulby's going to go down, actually, so full send. That they really could have used that, you know, a lot of that pressure to keep Team TOS from having all of their players, a lot of their players at least, assaulting these goals. And so it's just the choice. Usually you're going to attack that bottom path goal if it's the only one left, besides the final goal, of course, in the center. And so that's probably where they're going to go, but, you know, obviously that's predictable, and so you don't know. Maybe they'll actually try to go for that middle, that last goal, and so Sanji's going to divert. Notice that Skull, they're going to throw down the Giga. You want to just try to get as much pressure as you can. Any of that AoE, the CC, this is all very good. Somebody's got to score in right here. This is going to be so intense, but they are actually dropping. There's going to be people from Team TOS dropping like flies almost. That's got to hurt so bad. You were trying to make that assault, and it does not look like they will. Sanji is trying right here. Just getting bursted down, ladies and gentlemen. That was so difficult. We will see the score breakdown. I think you guys probably know who's going to take it. Yes, that will be the Orange Squad, which was Full Send. Going to take the victory with 494 to Team TOS's 411. Unfortunately, you see just a few goose eggs there on Team TOS. They really put up just like such a hard-fought fight. Really had some interesting plays, and you know, you gotta feel for them in this situation. My God, I really wanted to yell. I can almost feel the thought of staples popping out of my head if I was really gonna scream as much as I wanted to, you guys. That was just intense. Look at some of that battle data here. It really reflects the match that we just saw. Please feel free to click an end screen on screen to see another one, and thanks for viewing.